Namaste भैया, namaste to all.
Namaste, Samya ji. Namaste. Namaste to all.
Bhaiya, I hope the screen is visible.
Yeah, the screen is visible very much. Yeah.
Thank you, भैया. We welcome all of you to the combined volunteers team meeting. This is the fifth meeting that we have scheduled with Ganesh ji. These meetings are like a family get together of all the volunteers from the UHV, different parts of India. And these meetings are helping us in enriching our self exploration process. We are very happy that Ganesh-ji has accepted our invitation and is willing to spend such time with us in helping our self development. We from our team we would like to express our gratitude to Ganesh-ji. Many of us volunteers are able to see that being a part of the volunteering team, our self exploration is becoming better, and because of our self exploration we are able to see the way we speak, the kind of words we use, the feeling that we have with all our team members is becoming better, and we are trying to become more comfortable within. And these volunteering activities are helping us in our self development, and also being a part of the team, the efficiency and the outcome of the team is also better, and we're able to see this for each one of us. So we have many activities and projects, and we have these update sharing of all the teams regarding their projects and activities with the admin team to share the updates and also take the inputs on how we can improve ourselves while performing the activity and the project, and also to see how we can share the experiences that we are gaining with the society. So we would like to hear from our volunteers. Anybody would like to share their experience, how they are feeling that being a part of the volunteering team, it is helping in their development. If anybody would like to share. Namaste, Ganesh Padkal, Padalkar ji. Namaste.
जी नमस्ते namaste to all. I am Ganesh Padarkar and I am actively volunteering for UHV since last 2 months, and I really feel connected with the content, and it helps me in my exploration. For example, throughout the weekly meetings which we meet, I am from the Western region, so we meet on Saturday and Sunday. Also, there is a team meeting on Wednesday. So that continuous volunteering for the meetings and all, it is helping me more deeply exploring this content. G. This is my experience. G. And also, I feel that I'm participating in higher order. I'm doing my part. G. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Ganesh-ji. Very nice to hear from you. Anybody else would like to share your experience? Namaste, Ritu-ji.
नमस्ते नमस्ते मैम मैम मैं ऑडिबल हूँ
Ji, ma'am. Yes, yes, you're audible.
यस मैम first I would like to convey my thanks to Bagaria sir. Because of him that we people are very much clear that how to live our life peacefully, and we make this word sustainable with the thought process, with the dialogue way that we people are implementing. Even I have served 7 years at Jaipur. So all over the world, we people, when we connect, because when I deliver the international talk to people, love to listen about UHV because it has solution for everything. And really, I'm very much thankful to you that you have given us the opportunity to listen to Bagaria sir. It's a wonderful opportunity for us. Though today I am driving from Jaipur to Greater Noida. I'm coming back because I'm working with Dronacharya Group of Institution, and I'm also one of the team member. So many times I work as a local program coordinator when UHV 8 days programs, workshops, UHV team organized. I'm always there with Upasna Didi, Gopal Bhaiya, Sambhav Bhaiya, Rachna Didi. And I'm really very much thankful to all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Didi. Namaste, Ganesh sir.
Namaste, namaste.
We would like to express our gratitude, sir, for you sharing your valuable time with us and trying to help us in our self development, towards team development, towards societal development. And we are able to see that we are, you know, feeling a lot of difference within us, and that really is helping each one of us. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So can we go to
Thank
the,
you.
sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Yes.
So all of us are eagerly waiting to hear from you, sir. So can we move to the question and answer session?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Sir, so we have questions with respect to the self. We have few questions with respect to the relationship, and some of the questions with respect to society and others also. So you can help us in how we can start, then we can go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
So can I read out the questions at once, or can we go at one question at a time, sir?
Yeah, we can go one question at a time. That's fine.
गणेश जी बहुत सारे देर आर मेनी क्वेश्चन बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस हैं तो एक बार देख लेंगे तो थोड़ा सा उसको जोड़ करके कर लेंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा क्योंकि बैकलॉग बनता जा रहा है क्वेश्चंस का
Okay.
जी जी एक बार देख लीजिए
So So can I read out the questions?
Yeah, you can read it out.
Yes, sir. With respect to questions on self-development, few of the questions are as follows. Do I, the self, decide to get into, that is, I'll get associated with a body at a particular time and place in the space? Why do I need a body at all, assuming the self starts as a pure self? If it is only self, I will always live with natural acceptance only. Sensation and preconditionings are becoming a source of imagination only when I am associated with the body. Because through body only I am reading sensation, and through body only I am receiving information. That is becoming conditioned. Next question. I am not able to keep away from sensual pleasure sometimes, though it is not naturally acceptable since I am addicted to that taste. I can see that there is a gap between understanding and living. How to reduce this gap and synchronize understanding and living? Most decisions are still based on taste, health, profit. Although there is a shift with right understanding, how can I accelerate the process towards coexistence, harmony, relationship? What is the dynamic activity and power that is mentioned with respect to the content of imagination? संस्कारों के सीधा सीधा सीधे देखना एक एग्जाम्पल के साथ बताएं. How to correct our sanskars? What is the process of accumulating sanskars? Now that many sanskars are accumulated, how to purify them? At the level of thought, in alignment with the natural acceptance, I am able to see my feelings and sanskars, and I am setting it right. If wrong, is it okay? What is sadhana, anusandhan, and adhyatma? I want to understand these terms to work towards self development. Do material units have any effect, positive or negative, on conscious units? Say wearing Rudraksh, Karunkali Male. Do material units have impact only on other material units or also on the conscious units? This is regarding self and body. My daughter is carrying what as a family we can do for the baby's understanding in the womb, how to practice Bharv Sanskar at home, where to find learnings related to this. My daughter is asking, how can we attract a higher self to associate with the baby's body? Please explain the role of the brain if mind has sensations and brain has instructions to manage body, then what is so? So these are the questions related to self and body.
Okay. So I think I will get back to the this set of questions first, and then move to the next set. So let me get back, starting from the first slide. Yeah. So the question about the self and its interaction with the self, with the body, right? This is the set of questions that we are now dealing with. So the questions are about the being of the self, number one. Number two, the self associating with the body. Number three, the process of development of the self in association with the body, right? So I'll briefly respond, and then these questions, individual questions, will be answered. Our way of going about would be that we start observing ourselves at this point of time in association with the body, right? So if you observe this yourself in association with the body, you can see that you are there, the body is there. There are activities in the self, the activity of imagination, the activity of selecting and testing and all that. Then the body is there. There are some activity taking place in the body, and because of those activity in the body, there is some sensation going on in the body. And these sensations are going on in the body, and I am deciding to read this sensation or not to read this sensation. So we can see that reading the sensation from the body or not reading the sensation from the body is my choice. Okay. So associating with the body is my choice. At any point of time, I want to associate with the body, I associate with the body. If I don't want to associate with the body, I do not associate with the body. Are going on in the body anyway. But I associate with a sensation or read a sensation on my choice. Is that clear?
Sir.
Yeah, whose question was this? So that person can say.
Yes, Vaya, it is my question.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, like, I just wanted to know, like, the self is deciding at every moment. So it is the self that is deciding. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, but I think Ganesh-ji might have got disconnected.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Ji, sir.
Okay. So what I was saying is that I am associated with the body by my choice. This I can observe right now. So sensations are going on in the body, but I choose to read the sensation, and therefore I read the sensation. If I don't choose to read the sensation, I do not read the sensation. And if I'm not reading the sensation, there is no association of the self with the body at this moment of time. Can we see this? That is my observation.
Ji, sir. So thank you for the input. But then, yeah, so at least I feel now that I will start becoming more aware and maybe start uh, working on the self now. And maybe my program would be for more of the self and less on the body. That's what is my thoughts, sir, after listening to you. But I will surely explore on it, sir. Thank you very much.
But I was responding to the first question, which is asking that does the self associate itself with the body at any particular time and place? I'm saying even now this can be observed and verified that I am associating with the body by choice. Because to read the sensation or not read the sensation, it is my choice at this point of time. So this is one regarding the first question. Can we move next? Can we see the question again?
Please. The second question is, sir, why do I need a body at all, assuming the self starts as a pure self? If it is only self, I will always live with natural acceptance only. Sensation and preconditionings are becoming a source of imagination only when I am associated with the body, because through the body only I am reading sensation, and through the body only I am receiving information.
ये जो प्रश्न है इनको हिंदी में भी अगर कह देंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा। शशि शर्मा जी आप हैं यहाँ पे?
जी
तो
भैया।
इस जो दूसरा क्वेश्चन है इसको हिंदी में भी पढ़ दीजिए, फिर आगे से हम लोग सारे क्वेश्चंस को जो इंग्लिश में है उनको हिंदी में भी पढ़ सकते हैं और एक लाइन में उनका। जी
जी आप सेकंड क्वेश्चन के लिए कह रहे हैं, व्हाई डू आई नीड अ बॉडी
हाँ
वाला?
गणेश जी ठीक है ऐसा।
So the self is not starting with the highest activity of the self, that is the pure observer. The self always start with the lowest activity of the self, that is selecting and testing. And because it is starting with the lowest activity of the self, that is selecting and testing, it has this feeling that I will get my happiness through getting the right kind of sensation through body. So that is how it gets into the process. So if you look at the development of the self, the being of the self and development of the self, it starts with the lowest level of activity, that is selecting and testing. And because of that, it starts associating with the body, particularly starting with the lower activity of the self, that is associating with the body of the animal. So that is how it starts. And then in due course of time, it develops its higher activity or becomes aware of the higher activity. And when it is able to be aware and active at the level of imagination, the activity of desire, thought, and expectation, then it is able to associate with a human body. And we can see that many of us as human beings are still busy with these lower activities of the self, that is desire, thought, and expectation. With right kind of education, right kind of sanskar, right kind of drawing the attention towards the higher activity of the self, it becomes possible for us to pay attention to the higher activities like my natural acceptance. So what we are trying to do in through this process of exercise 1 and 2, for example, is essentially trying to pay attention to the higher activities of the self. Right? Now that we are already aware of the activity of desire, thought, and expectation, now by effort we can start paying attention to the higher activity of the self, paying attention to our natural acceptance. And when we pay attention to our natural acceptance, we are able to see our natural acceptance. Right? And then that start becoming the basis of deciding or evaluating my lower activities. So I don't have the choice, or the self does not have the choice to start with the natural acceptance, because the very process of existence of the self and development of the self starts with the lowest activity of the self, and then it goes on, developing by becoming aware of the higher and higher activities of the self. So that is what we are, made to be. So we can only understand this process and pass through this process and accelerate this process of becoming aware of the higher activities of the self. And that is what we are trying to do. So if you read what is written on the right side, that the other parts of the nature, the first three orders are already evolved. The human being has to evolve, and in human being the self has to evolve, right? And the most significant thing has to take place is the development of the self. And this development takes place by becoming aware of our natural acceptance, then making that natural acceptance as the basis of evaluating our lower activities and purifying them in the process of this evaluation. So that is what we are trying to do through exercise 1 and exercise 2. So this is the process of development of the self in the existence, which we have to understand and work on. But we do not have the choice to go straight to the natural acceptance or to the level of pure observer and start working from there. We have to evolve from the lowest activity, that is selecting and testing, and slowly go to the higher activity and ultimately the highest activity of the self. Yes. But that is not a problem. The problem is that we don't have the right kind of education and sanskar where a human child can become aware of the higher possibilities of the self, okay, and be with that higher possibility of the self. So existentially, the problem is not there. But the right education and sanskar, which is supposed to be there in the process of development, is missing. And that we can take care of by providing the right education and sanskar to every child. So that is what needs to be done. That is what can be done. Yes.
Yes, sir. So it's like we are actually creating preconditioning which are not naturally acceptable, and we are not helping in the development of self at the present stage.
No, I didn't get your point.
We are not providing the right education now, sir, and we are giving them wrong preconditionings, and that is not
Yes.
helping the children today.
Yes. True. 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 So we need to give right kind of education which helps every child to understand the self, the process of development of the self, the process of association of the body, association of the self with the body, and then how to take care of this association with the body in a right manner. All this has to be made available as a part of right education and sanskar, which we are not able to do. That is the problem.
Now that the proposals are in me, do I need to, I mean, I need to evaluate and go through it myself. Do I need a body now? Or anybody else to help me right now?
Yeah, the basic thing is that what is the source of your happiness at this moment of time? If your source of happiness is being at the level of pure observer, and from there able to see the space, the all pervading, and this realization of the submergence of the pure observer in the space, if that becomes the source of your happiness, then you will be in a state of bliss every moment. If that is the case, then you are no more dependent on getting your happiness from outside. So you are no more dependent on the body. So this is the state which is called the state of liberation. So in that liberated state, what is called as Jivan Mukt or Sthit Pragya, all these words are used for that state. Right? You are in a state of permanent. If that is the state, then you are there as a pure observer submerged in space, and with that realization you are in a state of bliss, state of continuous happiness. So after reaching to that state, even when you are associated with the body, now you are no more dependent on the body. So this state can be realized and has to be realized while associated with the body itself. Once you reach to that state, then your dependency on the body is no more there. And now you have the choice whether to continue your association with the body or not continue your association with the body. But till that development of the self, there is an, need of the body, to use it as an useful means for the process of getting the right education and sanskar. So it is not that body is always an obstacle. So as I said, if we are giving the right education and sanskar to the every child, then the same body can become an useful instrument for developing the right understanding in the self. Developing the right understanding and then living with that right understanding. So all that, completeness of the understanding and completeness of our human conduct for the process, body is an useful instrument. So it is not that body is always a barrier, it is a liability. If we are getting right education and sanskar, and if we are working for right understanding and right feeling and right thought, then the same body is a means for liberation. Right?
Yes, sir.
So body is not always a liability. It becomes a liability when we are not getting the right education and sanskar and we are not working for the development of the self. Instead, we think that body itself is the source of happiness. So if I can get right kind of sensation or favorable kind of sensation through the body, then through that favorable sensation, I can get happiness, the continuity of happiness, which is not possible. So the issue is not getting rid of the body. The issue is making the right utilization of the body. And to make right utilization of the body, I have to have the right education and sanskar. Right. So the main issue, the crux is that am I working for the right education and sanskar or not? Whether the society, the system is providing me the right education and sanskar or not. Whether the system is providing right education and sanskar to every child or not. And that is what we have to work for. So this is regarding the first two questions. The next two questions are basically the same. What it is saying is that now that I am now see this, importance of the pure observer, the importance of natural acceptance, but still I am not able to shift. And many times my liking for sensations, okay, my, kind of priority for this, favorable sensation, priority for the body and the material things, they take over. Yes. So that will happen because, as I said, what is the source of your happiness? That you have to settle. As long as the source of your happiness is from outside, through sensation or through getting the favorable feelings from outside, you will be busy with your what you are calling as priya hit love, or your kind of liking for the taste, for the health, for the profit. That is looking outside for the material world to be favorable. So what to do? So what we need to do is to shift from this source of happiness, that is getting happiness from outside through right sensation or favorable feelings, moving from there to a state where my source of happiness is my being at the level of pure observer, with the realization of the space, with the realization of the coexistence in space. So this shift has to take place in me. That is how it is going to work. So most of us are in the process, right? So presently, if we look at ourselves, our sanskars are mixed. Some of our sanskar says that the source of happiness is outside. And if that is our sanskar, then we are likely to be at the level of 6, 5, 4, and 3B. If we are able to see that happiness is my innate nature, the happiness is within, and I am responsible for my happiness, then we are working with 3A, 2C, and 2B. Only when we are at the level of pure observer, that is 2A, and with the realization of coexistence, realization of space, that is 1, then only my source of happiness is within me. I am in a state of pure observer. I have the feelings which are naturally acceptable to me, and with those feelings, I am in a state of harmony and happiness within. Then only I can be free from my dependency or my tendencies to depend outside for my happiness. So those sanskars have to be seen, to be evaluated and purified. Till they are there, they will keep working. Is that making sense?
Yes, sir.
Whose question was this? We can ask.
One of the question was from Suresh-ji.
Yeah. So if Suresh can raise his hand, we can. Meanwhile, Vinay has raised his hand.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. Namaste, Pranam, sir. Yeah. So now, after listening this about pure observers, the second state. Once a self has reached to this state, and if it decides to associate with a human body again, will it start its lifetime journey with that state, or it has to start from the lower, that is, selecting test?
This is interesting, in the Indian tradition, we have this concept of avatar.
Ji.
Right? Now, this concept of avatar says that the self which have realized themselves and reached to that state of pure observer, and when they were associated with the body, they were no more, controlled by the body. When they leave the body, they don't need to associate with the body for their happiness, but for the purpose of playing some important role in the society, they decide to associate with the body. If that is the case, then they do not have to start with the lowest this thing, state of the self. They can start with that highest state, okay. But because they have to associate with the body, then certain things certain things they have to do with the body. They have to take care of the body. They have to nurture the body. So that much of paying attention to the body and to the sensation of the body and to the physical facility. That becomes necessary. But they don't continue to be associated with the body and become dependent on the body for their happiness. I mean, for people like Shankaracharya, if you read their lifetime history, okay, they start with as a common child, but right at the age of 3, you can see the kind of response that he is giving to the people around, to the relatives in the family. And at the age of 8, he is reaching to his guru and asked to introduce himself. He is giving the introduction about himself, which has hardly anything to do with the body. So, depending upon their development of the self, even when they are choosing to associate with the body for a particular purpose, they can start from that highest level. But certain degree of involvement with the body, with the sensation of the body, with the state of the body, with the physical facility which are required for nurturing the body, that kind of involvement will be seen. But that will not be binding, for them. So we have a lot of these examples in the Indian tradition. And we would have such examples in other traditions also.
Okay. Sir, I was asking because when the child gets birth, after coming out of mother's womb, the first thing which it does is crying. And we can also observe that there is a fear. So these two things, how we can understand with the pure self.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, that this crying is for just taking the care of the body or for the lack of happiness. This question we have to ask. Interesting, this there is a person called Sukdev. I hope you have heard this name, right? This is a son born to Vyas. And about him, it is said that when he was born, he stood up and he walked out. Right? I mean, I would say that it is, whether it really happened in the history or not, I do not know. But what it is trying to signify is that, it is not kind of busy with the body or not, crying because of the lack of a favorable state of mother's womb for the body. So he is concerned about his, what he wants to do for the society, and he is right into his work. So such things are there as examples to point towards those things. But I think, it's at that point of taking birth, it may not be very clear to make that judgment. But as I said, at the age of 3, the response of Shankaracharya. Okay. And even now, many childs, if you look at them, they have different sanskar, and therefore at particular age, let's say at the age of 1 or 2 or 3, you can see the child with different sanskar responding very differently to the external conditions. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
You give something to eat to one child, he will distribute to everyone. Give it to second child, he will not distribute to anyone.
Hmm.
So that sanskar is working. So these
Yes,
are
sir.
the general cases which we can observe. But all this happens in the extreme cases as well. In fact, you know, a lot of this literature that we have in Indian tradition is trying to kind of exemplify these situations of people with very specific sanskar. So Krishna is one example. Right from his childhood, lot of things are happening. And this boy is not troubled by it.
Yes, sir.
But this we can observe in our day-to-day life, you know, with two sets of kind of young child, you can see that their response to external conditions, same external condition is quite different because their sanskar is different.
Right.
And interestingly, you know, if you look at Christ, for example, right? The Christ, the way he is looking at the situation is quite different from the way people are looking at, you know, in this, looking at the same situation, right? So this famous story that he is walking through a village and he finds that people are throwing pebbles on a lady, right? And you remember this story?
No, I have heard, but I don't remember fully.
Yes. So it says that this man is going through that village and he finds that some people are throwing pebbles on a lady. And when he asked what has happened, you know, why are you throwing pebbles on her? They said she has, you know, created some misconduct. And our book says that if book of law says that if somebody, you know, does a misconduct, then he or she should be, you know, killed by pebbling, you know. Now this same situation, now Christ is saying, okay, your book of law says this, fine, but tell me who has the right to throw pebble? The one who has never, you know, done any misconduct, or he can throw pebbles even if he has done misconduct in his lifetime, in action or in thought. And people in response to that, you know, realize that they have done misconduct at the level of deed or at the level of thought. And therefore, slowly they stop throwing the pebbles and they go away. And this lady is saved. So one of the reasons for his crucifying is that he has saved this lady from the punishment that was to be given to that lady, and therefore he has violated the law. So what is happening is that he is looking at this, you know, with his sanskar, okay, and other people are looking at it with their own sanskar. And they two are not matching.
The man-made laws are not matching with the existential laws, Ganesh-ji, in this case?
Yes.
Yes.
So he is looking, Christ is able to look at the subtler activities of the self and the subtler processes, which other people are not able to see. So when he's saying one has not, committed any misconduct at the level of deed and at the level of thought. Now, if you start looking at the level of thought, you find that, okay, you did not express it outside, but you had so many, misconduct at the level of thought, at the level of desire. And if you go deeper at the level of sanskar, right? So if we ask ourselves, have we not committed any misconduct at the level of our thought, at the level of our desire, at the level of our sanskar? So we all will be in trouble, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, so this is what we are trying to do. We are trying to make ourselves sensitive to the subtler activities of ourselves. And we are trying to do it because we want to purify ourselves.
Yeah. Many times it happens so that if there are thoughts of misconduct, when you realize that, when you are aware of it, there is a guilt also.
Yeah.
See, sir, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes. This is interesting.
So the next question is, what is the dynamic activity and the power that is mentioned with respect to the content of imagination?
I think I'll come to this question when I will sometime, detail out these activities of the self,
Yes, sir.
where I have to explain this, what is the state activity and what is the dynamic activity.
Yes, sir.
If you want me one line answer, I can say that this desire, thought, and expectation are the dynamic activity, because it has to do with expressing oneself with the world outside, right? And in terms of activity, that is, in terms of power, it is desire, thought, and expectation. In terms of activity, it is imaging, analyzing, and selecting. So I have to explain about what is the state activity, what is the dynamic activity, and what are the state activities at the level of self, and what are the dynamic activities, and what is the interrelationship between this, state and the dynamic activity, both at the same level and at the lower and higher level. So all that has to be explained, which I think I can do sometime, and we are doing it in this UHV 3 in detail about it. Whose question is this?
Sir, it is my question.
So, so we have done it in UHV 3 in quite detail because it needs little time,
Yes. Yes, sir. We can take it up some other time, and I mean, we have that. We will wait for you to say that. And I had some questions because I was not able to connect to it, so I had this question. We can take it up, sir, whenever you're, next time, whenever you can.
Yeah. Then these next three questions have to do with the sanskar, right?
Yes, sir.
So one of the looking at the sanskar directly, we are doing a lot of work through exercise 1 and 2. Whose question is this?
So these questions are by Bhagyashali Didi. First question, to give an example of sanskar. Bhagyashali Didi.
जी नमस्ते भैया, नमस्ते दीदी, नमस्ते सभी को.
Yeah, so we are working on exercise 1 and 2, right? And there we are explaining in detail as to how to observe our sanskar and how to purify our sanskar. So what is the question? What is your question exactly? Because we have been there in the morning session for quite some time, So what exactly is the question?
भैया कि जब मैं संस्कारों को समझने जाती हूँ तो कभी विचारों के साथ मैं समझने की कोशिश करती हूँ कि जब भी मेरे भाव गड़बड़ाए तो वहाँ पे क्या संस्कार हो सकता है, तो ऐसे विचारों के साथ समझने की कोशिश करती थी. बट जब ये मुझे इनपुट आया कि संस्कारों को भी सीधा सीधा देखना है, तो ये थोड़ा मैंने नोट किया कि एक बार मेरे संबंधी थे, उनसे बातें जब मैं कर रही थी तो उनसे जब मैं कुछ एक सेंटेंस रिसीव कर रही हूँ, इमिडिएटली वहां पे मैं एक आंसर उसको कुछ मान्यता के साथ मतलब वहां पे मेरी मान्यता मैंने देखी, उनका उनको मैं रिसीव कर रही हूँ, सुन रही हूँ, और वहीं उसी वक्त मैं अपनी मान्यताओं को भी देख रही थी. तो क्या इसी को
जी
कहना है संस्कारों को सीधा सीधा देखना? तो ये थोड़ा समझना चाह रही थी.
जी. देखिए क्या है, जैसे जैसे हमारा सटिलिटी बढ़ता है, सूक्ष्मता बढ़ता है ना. पहले तो क्या था कि हम बाहर की घटना को देखते थे. अभी धीरे धीरे उस घटना के पीछे, है ना, हमारे में कुछ विचार चल रहा है, ये हम देख पाते हैं, है कि नहीं. फिर उस विचार के पीछे कोई भाव है, ये देख पाते हैं. उस भाव के पीछे कोई संस्कार है, ये देख पाते हैं. और उसके भी पीछे दृष्टा है जो ये सबको देख सकता है. इसको हम लोग धीरे धीरे देख रहे हैं ना. तो अभी ज्यादातर लोगों के साथ ऐसा होता है कि हम विचार के लेवल पर देख पा रहे हैं, ठीक है ना. उतना हमारा सटिलिटी है. इसलिए जब भाव को भी देखना होता है तो विचार से हम कनेक्ट करते हैं, भाव को विचार से कनेक्ट करते हैं, संस्कार को. बट ये देखने वाला काम प्योर ऑब्जर्वर की जगह से अगर करते रहेंगे तो धीरे धीरे हमारा देखने का सूक्ष्मता बढ़ेगा. हम सीधा सीधा अपने भाव को भी देख सकते हैं और अपने संस्कार को भी देख सकते हैं, ठीक है ना. तो ये जो आपने एक एग्जाम्पल दिया वो बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल है. अभी मैं किसी आदमी को देखता हूँ, है ना, और अभी उसने कुछ कहा ही नहीं है, लेकिन मेरे मानस में आता है कि ये आदमी बेकार है, ये हमारा समय खराब करेगा, है कि नहीं.
जी.
ऐसा होता है कि नहीं होता है.
हाँ हाँ भैया जी.
अभी अभी तो उसने कुछ बोला ही नहीं, कुछ किया ही नहीं है ना. बट हमारा जो एक्यूमुलेशन है उसके बारे, है ना, व्हाट आई एज्यूम अबाउट दिस पर्सन इज ऑलरेडी वर्किंग, कि नहीं. तो हमको लगता है कि ये समय खराब करेगा, ये परेशान करेगा, इससे बचो. तो इसके प्रति अब संबंध का भाव आएगा कि विरोध का भाव आएगा.
विरोध का
क्या
भाव।
होगा?
विरोध का
विरोध का
भाव।
भाव आएगा।
हाँ।
तो ऐसा नहीं कि जो अभी उसने किया उसके कारण आ रहा है, अभी तो उसने कुछ किया ही नहीं है, ये हमारे संस्कार के कारण आ रहा है। तो ऐसा अभी धीरे धीरे हम देख पाएंगे कि हमने अपने बारे क्या मान रखा है और दूसरों के बारे में क्या मान रखा है, और ये मानना जानने के आधार पर है या बिना जाने मानने के आधार पर है। और फिर ज्यादा उसको शार्प करेंगे तो पूछेंगे कि ये जो मानना है हमारा उसके बारे में, वो संबंध के अर्थ में है, व्यवस्था के अर्थ में है, अस्तित्व के अर्थ में है, या अन्यथा है। तो इससे क्या होगा, इतना डायरेक्टली अगर देख सकते हैं तो बहुत सारी चीजों को हम सीधा सीधा रिजॉल्व कर सकते हैं विदाउट गेटिंग इनटू द डिटेल्स। तो अब उसने क्या बोला और मैंने उसके साथ क्या रिएक्शन किया, ये सब बहुत सेकेंडरी हो जाएगा। अभी दिखता है कि पहले से ही संस्कार हमारा उसके साथ विरोध का है, ठीक है ना। तो उसने कुछ बोला इसलिए मैं विरोध में आ गया, इसलिए मैंने रिएक्ट किया। ये हो सकता है कि उसने कुछ ऐसा कहा भी, लेकिन हम तो पहले से ही उसके लिए तैयार बैठते, बिकॉज ऑफ माई संस्कार अबाउट हिम। और अगर ये हमको दिख जाए तो पहले हम उसी को ठीक करेंगे, क्योंकि उसको ठीक किए बिना इस आदमी से ठीक से इंटरेक्शन हो ही नहीं सकता है कि नहीं।
जी।
अभी ज्यादातर इंटरेक्शन आप लोगों का देखेंगे तो ऐसा ही है, बिल्कुल एक बेहोशी में है और मान्यताओं के तहत है, और दोनों ही अपनी मान्यता को देख नहीं पा रहे हैं, दूसरे को देख रहे हैं, दूसरे को ठीक करने में लगे हैं। है ना।
जी।
तो अच्छा है, अब आप उसको देख पा रहे हैं, अभी एक ग्लिम्स मिला आपको,
हाँ।
बट उसको फॉलो अप करना है धीरे धीरे। अभी ऐसा ही हो रहा है, ये जो हम लोग अभ्यास सत्र कर रहे हैं ना मॉर्निंग का, और इंसिस्ट करते हैं हम लोग कि बार बार करते रहना चाहिए और हर दिन सुबह करना चाहिए और हर क्षण करना चाहिए, वो इसीलिए कह रहे हैं क्योंकि इससे वो पूरा प्रोसेस शुरू हो जाता है। इससे जो है पूरा प्रोसेस शुरू हो जाता है।
जी।
और काफी इंटरेस्टिंग है, एक बार आप लोग इसको ठीक से अपने में हम लोग काम कर पाते हैं तो धीरे धीरे हमको अपना संस्कार दिखने लगता है, उसका मूल्यांकन होने लगता है, उसका परिमार्जन होने लगता है। वो हो ही रहा है, संस्कार का परिमार्जन, भावों का परिमार्जन। तो जितना जितना ये परिमार्जन होता है भाव का और फिर उसके पीछे संस्कार का, उतना उतना हम अपने में आराम में आते हैं, उतना उतना हमारा व्यवहार ठीक होने लगता है। बाहर का आदमी बिल्कुल ना बदले तो भी। है कि नहीं।
जी। जी भैया।
यस।
धन्यवाद। थैंक यू।
इसका जो अगला क्वेश्चन है, और वो तो ठीक ही है, मुझे लगता है इस पर एक्सरसाइज 1 और 2 में बहुत बात होती है, उसको कैसे प्योरीफाई करना है। इसमें कोई स्पेसिफिक बात हो तो बताएं।
So
क्वेश्चन
the
नंबर 2,
question,
करेक्ट
yes,
आवर
sir.
संस्कार। Yeah.
Sir, the question is asked by Rajesh-ji.
Yes.
And the next question is asked by Geeta-ji.
गीता दी।
Yes, Geeta-ji.
Yeah.
Ganesh Bhaiya, Namaste Bhaiya.
Namaste, namaste.
Shall I put the question Bhaiya myself?
Yeah. Are you saying that you are not able to observe the feeling and therefore you are dealing at the level of thought? Is that so?
Ji Bhaiya, not all the feelings and all the sanskars I am able to see. So I am resolving at the dimension of thought itself. For example, if I'm having the feeling of jealousy towards another person, I'm able to see at the thought level it is wrong. I don't feel the feeling of opposition, but I can see that I'm jealous. It is not naturally acceptable. So all these I am seeing at the thought level. And I'm setting it right also. Oh, I am saying, oh, no, it is wrong. I shouldn't have the feeling of jealous towards the other person like that. I'm setting it right. But at times I'm able to see the feelings and sanskars. But most of the time I'm missing Bhaiya. So that is why I got this question.
Yeah. So my suggestion would be that you continue with this. Okay. And slowly you will develop this, that what is, happening sometime, that you are able to see the feeling and you are able to see the sanskar. Okay. So sometime it is happening, but if you continue to work with this effort or decision that I will be aware every moment and I will evaluate myself without reaction, then slowly this will become, more frequent. What you are saying basically is that your level of observation is you have developed the sensitivity for the thought. You are not able to see the subtler activities of desire or feeling and the sanskar. But sometimes you are able to see it, right?
Ji.
So if you continue to observe from the pure observer without reaction, then this will become more frequent. You will become aware of subtler things like feelings and sanskar more often. I mean, if you look at your effort for last 2-3 years, because you have been there in the morning session for quite some time, you can see that at one time you were not aware of the feeling, aware of the thought also, right?
Correct.
Now at least you are aware of the thought. Then there was a lot of reaction at the level of thought. Now you are able to handle these reactions at the level of thoughts. So all this improvement is already taking place.
Ji.
So I would say that, we have to continue working on it. And slowly this awareness will increase and our capacity to see subtler things will increase. And then we will be able to see the feelings and sanskars directly. Yeah, that would be my observation.
Ji Ganesh. Definitely I will
And then
continue.
it is fine. At least you are able to handle them at the level of thought. You are not getting into reaction at the level of thought. You are not expressing it outside. Yes.
Thank you, Ganesh. Namaste.
Namaste. The last question, this question, what is sadhana, anusandhan and adhyatma? Okay, I'll see it, how much time we have to get back to this question. This needs little more detail, but if you ask me very briefly, I would say that if I have reached to the state of pure observer, that is Adhyatma. To put it very simply, that if I have reached to a state of pure observer where I am able to see the space, realize the space and my coexistence in space at the level of pure observer. This is what is called Adhyatma. So we are at the level of Atma and the base of that Atma, that is space. That is the meaning of Adhyatma. What I mentioned in the beginning, that ultimately we have to reach to a state when we, the source of happiness is being at the level of pure observer, okay, with realization of coexistence, with realization of space. That state is called Adhyatma. Now, sadhana means the process of reaching to that state from where we are. So we are at some place of self-development, how to reach to that state of Adhyatma from where we are. So all that process which we are acquiring is called sadhana. So I am trying to develop myself. So the literal meaning would be sadhana would mean that I am trying to, purify myself. I am trying to put myself in the right direction, in the right place. That process is called sadhana. And anusandhan means I am trying to explore into that space and into that submergence in space. Okay. And when I am able to explore into the space and the submergence in space, then I am able to see the whole process of development in this existence. Right? And I am able to see the whole existence. So this state is called anusandhan. So after reaching, that is after going through the process of sadhana, I am able to reach to the state of adhyatma. And at the state of adhyatma, I am able to see the space. I am able to see my submergence in space. I am able to see the submergence of every unit in space. And therefore, I am able to see the submergence of the whole nature in space. And there I can see the whole process of development which is taking place in the existence. That seeing the whole existence and the process of development in existence is called anusandhan. Technically, this is what it means. Now, what is the use of this? Use of this is that if I understand the whole process of existence, and the process of development in existence of all the units in 4 orders, and within that 4 order, the human order is also there. So I will be able to understand how the development of the human being takes place, and therefore how the development of the self takes place. And if I can understand that and I can work for it, then it will help me in the process of self-development. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So in simple words, it would mean that what we are doing in exercise 1, 2, and then we'll do it in exercise 3 and 4, 5, 7, is that we are trying to understand the process of self-development, okay, from where we are to that space or that place of adhyatma, pure observer with realization of coexistence, realization of space. Right? That is what we are trying to work on through exercise 1 and 2, and then we'll work on with exercise 3. All this is the sadhana. And through this process, ultimately, we will be able to reach to that state of Anusandhan, where we will be able to understand the whole existential process, the whole existence and the process of existence, process of development in the existence.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes. Whose question is this?
My questions.
Your question, yes.
These are some words that we are using like very often, and we ask our kids and people around us to do. So I really wanted to understand, and then really, then you know, understand it for myself, and then try to help. So that's why sir, it was there in my mind for a very long time to understand what exactly it is, because we are using these words, but we don't know the meaning of it. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. Did it make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. At least it has helped me now to see where I should start now and what I should do at my level. That
Yeah.
I got that input, sir. Thank you so much.
And these words are very distinct words. This Anusandhan, for example. Anu is Anukram. Anukram means there is a process of unfolding, and in that process of unfolding, that is the meaning of Anu. Sandhan means Sampurnata, is completeness, So completeness, so I'm able to see that completeness of this existence. Then I'm able to see this, my place in that process of development, and I am established at that process of development. That is the meaning of Sandhan. And Anu means it is in the process of this whole unfolding that I am able to see my place, right? And what I have to do. And I am established that in that place and that process. So that would be the meaning of Anusandhan. So there is a word Anu, there is a word Sam, there is a word Dha, Na. That's how it combines together. So I am able to see the whole process of unfolding of existence. That is the Anukram. In that, I am able to see the whole existence, the Sampurnata. And I am able to see my place in that, in the process. And I am able to accept and be with that process. This is the meaning of Anusandhan.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes. The next question, yes, there is an impact of the material world on the consciousness. This we are seeing every moment, isn't it? We are getting affected by the state of the body. We are getting affected by the taste or the sensation of the body. Isn't it? So there is effect on of the material world on the world of consciousness. Yes, it is there. And it can be positive or negative. The whole trouble that we are facing, we have been discussing, is this, that there is an effect of the material world on the self. Getting happy or unhappy on the basis of that. Right? Now, the next question would be that, do I continue to be in that state, or we can evolve out of that state? The answer is that we can evolve out of that state. Okay. So when do I reach to a state when there is no effect of the material world on the self, on the consciousness? when I am at the level of pure observer with realization of coexistence. Till then, the material world has effect on the self, on the consciousness. That is what we are aspiring for.
Yes, sir.
That I am not affected by the external conditions. I am operating on the basis of my right understanding and right feeling. I am responding and not reacting. That is the state when the external material conditions have no effect on my consciousness or the state of consciousness. And interestingly, a lot of work has been done in different traditions to find out those material things which have effect on the body or favorable effect on the body, okay, which will create a favorable condition for the self, right, to explore further. So many of these things like Rudraksh and other things have been, identified, and they are being used. I mean, you can see that if your body is in a disorder, okay, is unhealthy, then it draws a lot of attention of the self. But if the body is healthy, okay, then it does not draw a lot of attention. So the self can work with itself. In fact, if you read Patanjali Yoga Sutra, for example, it says one of the way to work on oneself is ausadhi. So it talks about ausadhi, it talks about mantra, all those things. And samadhi is the last thing to work on. So they have explored all these things, gross most thing to the subtle most things, how they can be useful for working on your self-development. In fact, it is interesting, we have long tradition, in India and many other part of the world. And it will be interesting to, explore into them. If not all of them, we can decide to work on one of them and make an in-depth study and present it for everybody else. So much of work people have done regarding this, reaching to the highest possibility of the self, the process of sadhana. All this, lot of work has been done. And the specific shastras are there, and like in Indian tradition, for example, we have a lot of these Upanishads, and they are exploring into different aspects of life, different aspects of reality. And understanding each of these Upanishad, at least understanding one of them in depth and sharing it with others would be a very valuable thing to do. For example, Taittiriya Upanishad talks about Panchakosa. So this existence as a whole and the human existence in particular can be seen as 5 levels, 5 seats. Okay. The material one as Annamaya Kos and Pranamaya Kos, and then the self as Manomaya Kos and Vijnanamaya Kos and Anandamaya Kos. and ultimately understanding the space which is there, all pervading. And all these 5 seats are in space. So these things are there. It will be interesting to read through them, try to understand them, and then share with everybody else. Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So the next question is, my daughter is carrying, what as a family we can do for the baby's understanding in the womb? How to practice Garbh Samskar at home? Where to find learnings related to it? And my daughter is asking, how can we attract the higher self to associate with the baby's body?
I mean, one source I know of presently where people are doing a lot of work is this called Garbha Sanskar, which is conducted by this Gayatri Parivar of Haridwar. There are other people also who are doing it, but this one, they are doing it quite systematically, and also they are trying to bring it in the academics, in the main stream education. So they are trying to work on the expecting mother, well in advance, right? Not only 9 months before, but even before conceiving, right? Some preparation at the mental level and also at the physical level is required for the mother who wants to conceive. And then before the conception and at the time of the conception and after the conception and till giving birth, what kind of sanskar we have to work with. They are doing it quite systematically. So I can share some of these numbers with you, and you can talk to them and find out. But this is one effort I know of, but there are many such efforts. I am mentioning this effort particularly because these people are doing it in systematically and trying to bring it into the mainstream. In Kanpur University, for example, they are offering some short-term course, and then the follow-up action for a long period. So I know some of these people, and I can send you the details. It's quite detailed thing to do, Very extensive literature is there, and very extensive practices are there.
Yes, sir. This question was asked by Nirmala ji.
Who?
Nirmala ji.
Okay. I will send this to Rajul ji, and you can collect from Rajul ji. I'll get the details and send it to him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We will share it with Nirmala ji. So the next question, please explain the role of the brain. If mind has sensations and brain has instructions to manage body, then what is soul?
I mean, see, the soul sub is a very, kind of generally used word. So when you are saying soul, does it mean the pure self, the pure observer? Does it mean the self as a whole?
So the question was asked by Shashi Didi, Shashi Binani ji.
She is there.
Yeah, Didi is there, and yeah.
Yes.
Namaste, Ganesh Bhaiya. Actually, in one of the morning meeting, there was one question that what is the difference between brain and mind?
Mind.
Yeah. So that was answered by Gopal Bhaiya. But then, as I was listening the answer, I had that like, then how do you define the soul? Because if brain instructs the body to manage everything, if there is a pain, if there is feeling or sensation, and if mind is for thoughts and expectation and desire, then how do you understand what is soul? As you said, it is pure observer or pure form of self. I'm not little bit I'm able to relate, but again there is a still confusion for me.
Yeah. So I will suggest that we go in 2-3 steps. First step is that we are able to see the difference between the self and the body. The self, which is an unit of consciousness, and the body, which is an unit of material. So first we should understand this difference.
Yes.
Okay. Then we can see that this brain is a part of the body. Okay.
Okay.
Part of the material unit. When we explore into the self, which is a consciousness unit, we can see that mind is part of the self.
Okay.
Okay. Then when you try to understand the mind, mind generally means this whole imagination that is taking place in you. Your desire, thought, and expectation put together. Where you are deciding which sensation to read, which sensation not to read, how to respond to that sensation or not respond to that sensation, right?
Yes.
So that imagination part is the mind. Then this mind may be working purely on the basis of sensation, or it may be working on the basis of right understanding and right feeling. If it is purely working at the level of sensation, then it will keep reacting all the time.
Okay.
But if it is working on the basis of right understanding and right feeling, then it will start responding instead of reacting. So this part of right understanding and right feeling is that part B1, which is important. Mind is part B2, imagination.
Correct.
So when generally we say soul, either we mean self by this soul, or we mean the pure observer. That is realization, of the coexistence. The pure observer with realization of the coexistence.
Okay.
So the soul is used in Hindi, if you call Atma. Atma is used for the self as a whole, and it is used for the Atma, which has the realization of the space.
Okay.
Yes. So I do not know what you mean by soul here.
No, the same. As you said, Atma. So, because when you say there is a relationship, I understand my relation with my family, with self, with individual, with what you say, society, and everybody. So, to reach to that level, what you said is pure observer or relation and all that. So that is like the highest level of your self-realization. That is what I understood, as you said. And same thing, what is Atma?
Yes.
I understand that. So is it?
Yes.
it's a highest level of self-realization, right understanding, and to be in harmony with everybody. This is what I can understand what you mentioned.
Yes.
Okay.
So now you can see that brain is part of the body.
Okay, yes.
Mind is this imagination, B2. And this Atma, which we generally talk about as pure self, is either B1 in general or this realization in particular.
Yes. Yes, I'm getting clarity now.
And in fact, the whole process that we are trying to work for is we are moving from these 5, selecting, testing, to thought, to desire, to understanding, to realization. That is what we are doing through exercise 1 and 2. Are you attending the morning session?
Yes,
you said you
I'm
are.
attending morning session, yes.
So we are trying to move, from 5
Yes.
to 1.
Yes.
At the level of 1, we are moving to realize this space.
Correct.
That arrow going up is saying that realization of the space and realization of the coexistence.
Correct.
Hello.
Yes. Yes.
Sir, we have a hand raised by Anil-ji from a very long time. Can we hear from Anil-ji, sir?
Yes. Yes, Anil-ji.
Pranam, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes. We are able to hear you. Your voice is little feeble, but fine, we can hear.
Maybe due to network connectivity.
Yeah, please. You go ahead. We are able to listen.
Sir, this is in continuation to the question related to samskara.
Yeah.
I met one naturopathic doctor. He visited us at our home. So he suggested one thing. I don't know how far it is connected to what we are discussing. He asked me to close my eyes and then asked me what color I see during that duration. So I said I could see gray, and it was morning time. So he said that your chitta or your deeper awareness is in the state of sandeha, and there are a lot of mud and they need to be settled. So I asked, what is that? So the response was that it is the samskara which gets accumulated throughout our experiences, and in fact it's a kind of sedimentation of the experiences, and the consolidated state is reflected in the kind of color you see when you close your eyes. So I asked what could be the sign of improvement if we progress. So he suggested that the ultimate state is to see a kind of brightness, and then you have different levels of progression. You start from wherever you are and then keep on moving. And he said that sadhana is the only way to get over all the confounding character of a mind, and you get cleared. And finally, when you reach to this level, you can see that now you are sahaja. You are now in your nature, and your spontaneous behavior would be nice, compassionate, and all the good things he talked about. So I thought this is something which is close to Baba Nagaraj's philosophy when he says natural acceptance, and initiation into his darshana is by Bagadia sir when I was a PhD student in IIT Kanpur in philosophy discipline. So I joined your 1 week program in the outreach auditorium. It was, I think, in 2005, if I remember correctly, or little early. So what we say natural acceptance, of course, it is suggested as universal, etc. But then I thought that, okay, what at whatever level of awareness we are, it is defined by our samskara, which we have accumulated. And then we keep on improving on our samskara. So how to progress on this? So often I am reminded of Kabir Das's one verse where he says, "Sahaj sahaj sab koi kahe, sahaj न चीन्हे कोई, जे सहज विषया तजी, sahaj kahi jai soy." So when we are in a position to give up the things which are grounded in sensation and prejudice, then we can, in some sense, say that now we are at that level of natural acceptance. So anyone who is in that position can be called sahaja. So I don't know, still after some exercise, some meditation, I try to improve on that color which he suggested. Then I don't find, in fact, any way ahead. It still remains gray. And sometimes in my thought level, I can just imagine that it could be little lesser gray than what it was earlier. So if you could have some reflection on this, if it is at all connected to our discussion.
Yeah,
Sir.
I mentioned a little before that we have a whole lot of this, ways of going about understanding the existence and our, being in this existence.
Right.
And there are so many of them, and it would be interesting to go through at least one of them and try understanding that and work with that, and then make a presentation for everyone else. So there are so many of them, and many of them are equivalent descriptions, in different terminology, different ways. Okay. So I will not go into making the comparison,
Right.
but I would say that any particular thing you are doing, you have to do it in a systematic manner. Okay.
Yes. Yes,
Trying
sir.
to compare different systems and trying to get something out of it is relatively more difficult. You have to systematically work with at least one system, right?
Yes.
And work for your self-development through that system. And then when you have evolved, you can also understand the other systems. Okay.
Right.
So that is how it goes. So I would suggest, are you attending the morning session?
No, sir, I am unable to attend that session.
Yeah.
I wish.
So, yeah, I would suggest that you attend this morning session and see how it works for your self-improvement. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Then if that self-improvement takes place, does it apply to this idea of, seeing that color? The color of the self, does it change? But I would say that, working through any of these a method which is effective for self-development, we must raise our level of consciousness, and then from there we can see this, other systems, try to understand these other systems. But we don't start with comparing these systems. That
Right.
is not very helpful for us to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you, Anil ji, now?
Sir,
What are you
I am
doing?
in Sagar in Madhya Pradesh. I am a faculty member in the Department of Philosophy at Sagar University.
Very nice. So I would say that you work for your self-development through one of the process which you find is most suitable for you.
Yes, sir.
Right? And after having evolved yourself, then you can look into other systems and see how they are expressing the process of self-development. That would be
Right.
more meaningful.
Yes, sir.
So what we are doing, we would suggest that you take out time and go through the morning session and see if
Yes.
it is helping you to work for your self-development. Okay. And then you can probably understand what other of them are also trying to say.
Yes,
So
sir.
this is, I can, if I have to relate, I can say that, depending upon your state of clarity or confusion, okay,
Right.
that color that you are talking about would change. So if you have the right understanding and right feeling, you will always respond and not react. But if you don't have the right understanding and right feeling, right, and then your response is depending on the outside condition, then you are not responding, you are reacting. And in case of reaction, you are confused, right? You have a lot of
Yes.
doubts. So correspondingly, those colors, that you see would all look gray or dark. In fact, many people are not even able to close their eyes because when they close their eyes, they feel darkness and so fearful. So they can't even close their eyes because they are full of negativity. Right?
Yes, sir.
So all those things, these are all different methods, process, different ways of expression. So I'm not very well versed in this process that you are talking about, but I can make a guess. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right. Where do you belong to?
Sir, I come from Gonda district, Uttar Pradesh.
Very nice.
Yes,
Very
sir.
near to Kanpur.
Yeah. And I suppose you are right now in Mandhana or somewhere else?
Yes, yes. We are in Mandana, Kanpur.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know your ashram. I could not see that. I wish I should come sometime.
Yes, yes. Next time when you come to Gonda, you can come to
Sure, sir.
Kanpur and
I'll try.
Mandana.
Yes. If you can share your
Very nice.
contact number,
Yeah, I will send it through Rajulji. We have a contact number for this Sansthan and we'll send it. Yes, Sumiyaji.
Thank you, sir.
Can we move? Next question,
Yes,
we
sir.
have around minutes with us.
Yes, sir. So thank you, sir. And we request all the participants to kindly share your questions, so that it will help us. We've received these questions through the Google form. In case if you're not able to, please, we will share the Google form so that you can put all your questions and then we can document the questions and then we can pick up the questions in the next sessions that we plan. So can we go to the next question, sir?
Yeah, yeah.
So the next question, this is asked in the last meeting, that Bhaya, once you told that Srimad Bhagavat is best example to learn through short stories, but the way it narrates things is not proper for any female. In one such occasion in a family, we were gathered and I was reading it, but narration was such a way that my mother had told me to stop that and just skip that. Is this the way how women are treated in the society?
See, there are two things, One is talking about the basic universal principles which apply for all of us. So what we have tried to do in UHV is trying to essentially bring out those universal principles, universal laws of existence. And there is no exception. Okay. So if you ask me, our prescription is that those basic universal laws or universal, rules of existence uh, which are there are placed in this human values course UHV, and which is applicable to all of us. So best thing is to go by it, and that is what we are trying to do, whether UHV 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is all that we are trying to do. Right? But then we are not used to those basic principles, the universal principles. We always want examples because we want to relate those subtle things to our gross day-to-day life. Okay. So in that context, I had told about this, short stories which are narrated in different scriptures. Okay. And these short stories are intended to draw your attention towards certain basic law of existence, right? Certain basic universal law of existence. But these examples always have problem, right? Because they are talking about specific conditions. So though there is an advantage that through gross expressions, they are able to explain or draw your attention towards the subtle things, certain laws of existence. So that advantage is there, but disadvantage is there that the moment you bring it to that gross level, right, all those differences which are there at the gross level also start playing role. And therefore it is not applicable universally. So this is the general observation I would make about this question. But let us come to the specific issue, the specific instance where this happened. Okay. What was that narration? Whose question is this?
Bhaiya, this question is by Nipa ji.
Yeah, she is there.
Nipa ji, if you can raise your hand, we can provide the mic. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, so she's there. Yes.
Yes. Yes, Nipaji.
Nipa ji, you can unmute yourself. So I think we are not able to connect to Nipa ji.
Yeah.
So in the
not, I think because she has raised the hand, so she is there. Might be she wants to respond, but she is not able to unmute the mic. If we can unmute the mic and ask, she will probably respond. anyway, so I have responded to it in general, but particularly what happened at that and which particular part of the text was being read, we could have discussed. And yeah, we can
Yes, sir.
move to the next question.
Yes, sir. The next question is from Nidhi Didi. Existence is in coexistence seems easier to begin with, but still, why does it have to unfold? That I'm not able to understand. There is one doer karta that sometimes gets conflicting in me to what is proposed as space with no activity.
Whose question is this?
Nidhi Didi's question, sir. I think Nidhi Didi is there.
See, why does it have to unfold? I mean, we don't have the choice. It is unfolding itself. The coexistence is unfolding itself, right? And we see so much of variety in the nature, which is an outcome of the unfolding of the coexistence. So the choice is not whether we have to unfold or not to unfold. The unfolding is taking place, and we are as a part of that unfolding. So we have to understand ourselves as unfolding of that coexistence. And therefore, we have to understand the coexistence and we have to understand the unfolding of the coexistence. So this whole existence is the unfolding of this coexistence, which is the nature submerged in space, or the activity submerged in space. What is the question exactly? I mean,
जी नमस्ते प्रणाम सर।
नमस्ते।
वो क्वेश्चन ठीक से नहीं रख पाई हूँ मैं। मुझे मतलब भगवान को हम कहते हैं कि वही सब करते हैं, उनकी इच्छा के बिना एक भी पत्ता नहीं हिलता है, और दूसरी जगह वो नो एक्टिविटी का भी पार्ट हम प्रपोजल में रखते हैं, तो वो उसका मुझे कंफ्यूजन है।
जी ठीक है, देखिए 3 चीजों को हम लोग अलग अलग समझ रहे हैं ना। एक तो स्पेस को अलग से समझ रहे हैं ना, तो स्पेस इज ऑल परवेडिंग एंड इट इज नो एक्टिविटी, ये एक रियलिटी है, ठीक है। दूसरा रियलिटी क्या है? तो दूसरा रियलिटी है एक्टिविटीज, सटल मोस्ट एक्टिविटी से लेकर ग्रॉस मोस्ट एक्टिविटी तक, ठीक है। तीसरा रियलिटी है कि इन दोनों का कोएग्जिस्टेंस है। सो एक्टिविटीज इन स्पेस, एक्टिविटीज इन नो एक्टिविटी, तो 3 चीज हो गया ना। एक हो गया स्पेस विच इज ऑल परवेडिंग, दूसरा हो गया एक्टिविटीज, starting from subtle most activity to the gross most activity, तीसरा हुआ इन दोनों का कोएग्जिस्टेंस।
जी,
ये 3 चीज को ठीक ठीक समझ लेना चाहिए, अलग अलग भी और जोड़कर भी, ठीक है। अब गॉड किसको कह रहे हैं, ये हमने को तय करना पड़ेगा।
हाँ,
ठीक है ना।
जी सर।
तो जब आप ये जो स्पेस है, ऑल परवेडिंग स्पेस, इसको अगर गॉड कह रहे हैं, देन इट इज नो एक्टिविटी, फिर वो कुछ कर नहीं रहा है, ठीक है। बट अगर आप कोएग्जिस्टेंस को कह रहे हैं, ऑल परवेडिंग स्पेस एंड the activities submerged in space, उसको अगर आप देखने जाएंगे तो ये दिखेगा कि उस कोएग्जिस्टेंस का होना और उसका अनफोल्ड होना है ना। तो होना में देखेंगे तो स्टार्ट पॉइंट क्या होगा कि स्पेस है, स्पेस में सटल मोस्ट एक्टिविटी है। अनफोल्डिंग क्या है, सटल मोस्ट एक्टिविटी से मिलकर ग्रॉस एक्टिविटीज बन रही हैं। ठीक है, और ये जो ग्रॉस मोस्ट एक्टिविटीज बन गई सब मिला के इसको पूरे को एग्जिस्टेंस का। तो अब पूरे एग्जिस्टेंस में देखेंगे तो जो भी हो रहा है उसका बेस क्या है, स्पेस एंड द सटल मोस्ट एक्टिविटीज इन स्पेस। That is what we are calling as coexistence. That building block is that. तो बहुत समय उसको भी गॉड कहा है। तो वो अगर गॉड है तो फिर हम देख सकते हैं कि सारा बिल्डिंग जो हो रहा है वो उसी के आधार पर हो रहा है। सारा क्रिएशन जो हो रहा है वो इसी के आधार पर हो रहा है, और जब भी वो मर्ज होगा इसी में मर्ज होगा। ये ठीक है। So any gross activity, when it will be destroyed, where will it go? It will go into the subtlemost activity in space. So every gross activity is created by the subtle activities in space, and when it is degenerates, it goes into the subtle activity in space. है कि नहीं? तो उसके लिए ये भाषा प्रयोग की है कि सारे एक्टिविटी जो है इस कोएग्जिस्टेंस में हो रहा है, कोएग्जिस्टेंस से हो रहा है, और वापस जब भी जाएगा तो कोएग्जिस्टेंस में चला जाएगा। तो अगर उसको गॉड कह रहे हैं तो इसका मतलब ये होगा। एक और तीसरा मतलब है गॉड का भी, जो है ना, क्योंकि ये दूसरा वाला भी अगर आप लेंगे ना तो वो तय करने वाला, देखने वाला और तय करने वाला है। ऐसा कहने के बदले ज्यादा अच्छा कहना है कि सारा कुछ इसी में हो रहा है, इसी से हो रहा है। ठीक है ना। लेकिन जब आप डूअर कहने जाएंगे तब आपको फिर कॉन्शियसनेस को लाना पड़ेगा। कॉन्शियसनेस, द सेल्फ विथ अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ दिस होल एग्जिस्टेंस। तो ऐसा कोई सेल्फ है जिसने पूरे एग्जिस्टेंस को समझा है और एग्जिस्टेंस के रूल्स को समझा है और उसके आधार पर खुद जी रहा है, तो फिर वो इसको एग्जिस्टेंस के अर्थ में ही हमेशा डिसीजन लेगा। तो बहुत बार उसको भी गॉड लाइक हमने कहा है। तो ऐसा तीन पॉसिबल अभी एसोसिएशन है गॉड के साथ। एक तो ऑल परवेडिंग स्पेस के लिए, विच इज नो एक्टिविटी। दूसरा है द कोएग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ द स्पेस एंड द एनर्जी और यूनिट सबमर्ज्ड इन स्पेस, उसके लिए। और द सटल मोस्ट एक्टिविटी सबमर्ज्ड इन स्पेस, उसके लिए। और तीसरा द सेल्फ विथ रियलाइजेशन ऑफ कोएग्जिस्टेंस, रियलाइजेशन ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द एग्जिस्टेंस एज ए होल, इसके लिए। ये तीनों अलग अलग तरह के वस्तु के लिए गॉड शब्द का प्रयोग है। आपको ये तीनों को अलग अलग करके देखना पड़ेगा, तो फिर ये कंफ्यूजन नहीं होगा।
जी सर।
यस। तो उससे आपका क्वेश्चन भी अब आप फिर से समझ सकते हैं कि क्या पूछना चाह रहे हैं आप।
जी सर, अभी मतलब पॉसिबिलिटी दिखती है। वो जब मैंने ये क्वेश्चन लिखा था तब मैं खुद ही अपोजिशन में थी, तो ऐसी गड़बड़ होती रही। बट अभी काफी ठीक लगता है कि देख पाना पॉसिबल है। और
वही तीनों को अलग अलग करके देखेंगे तो फिर हम लोग रिजॉल्व कर पाएंगे।
जी,
क्योंकि हम लोग जिस ट्रेडिशन से आते हैं उसमें ये तीनों ही मान्यता चलती रहती है।
हाँ।
हमको फिक्स करना पड़ेगा कि हम इसको किस अर्थ में प्रयोग करेंगे, है ना?
तो हम जहाँ भी है वहां से तीनों में से जो भी पकड़ कर चले तो रास्ता ठीक है, ऐसा अभी लगता है सर।
वही तो हमको क्लियर होना पड़ेगा और कंसिस्टेंट होना पड़ेगा,
हाँ
फिर हम कंफ्यूज नहीं होंगे इन तीनों के बीच में।
हाँ
अभी प्रॉब्लम ये होती है कि हम तीनों का क्लैरिटी नहीं रखते और तीनों को मिला देते हैं आपस में, तो कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं।
हाँ ये कंसिस्टेंसी की बात ठीक है सर, मतलब वो फिर ठीक रहेगा।
ठीक है, बढ़िया, नमस्ते, यहाँ रोकते हैं फिर,
नमस्ते।
हो गए ज्यादा। ठीक है, नमस्ते, सब लोगों का टाइम हो रहा है, सो विल कॉल इट ऑफ। सभी को नमस्ते, बढ़िया, शुभकामना,
नमस्ते
फिर
सर।
मिलते हैं।
Yes,
नमस्ते,
sir.
नमस्ते।
Thank you so much, sir. And we will continue this discussion in the next meeting. We request all co-explorers to kindly share your questions through the Google form, and we will have more discussion. We'll continue with the discussion in the next meeting with the same question. And we express our gratitude to sir for being with us for a very long time. And it is a very enriching experience for each one of us, sir. And each one of us is putting our efforts for our self-development. We are able to see that. And we hope to continue this journey. And we thank each one for actively participating and being a part of this. Thank you, sir. Namaste to all.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
नमस्ते गणेश जी, नमस्ते सभी को।